Hello and welcome to Wilco Whites. I'm Sean. Here is the Millwall preview. Firstly, I'm feeling a lot better from the Portsmouth game. I've listened to a lot of content. I've looked at fans' comments, the presser. We've still got to. I'm not going to go into the presser because it were a bit drab as normal, but we've got to stay positive. It's still in our hands. We've got some fairly decent fixtures coming up. Okay, we could say Millwall, QPR, very difficult. Going off history, looking at form and everything else, we should be picking up 6 points there. Should is the word though. But I'm feeling confident. I think the players need to come out and prove a point. They were so disappointed. Everybody was disappointed about the Portsmouth game. I think it's a quick turnaround. It's what we need. It's what we needed as well. God, if we'd have had to wait a few weeks after that Portsmouth game, it'd have been hard. It's going to be a quick turnaround game. They're going to be up for it, our Leeds United, and I'm confident. Wednesday, 7:45 kickoff. Waiting for that. Okay. Looking at Millwall, the table, they're sitting 12th in the league. Played 36, won 12, drawn 12, lost 12, conceding 36, scoring 36, conceding 37. Form-wise, in the last 5 games, they've only lost 1 in the last 5, drawing 2, winning 1. Interesting enough, away form, they've only won 5 away from home, but there's also only lost 5 away from home, drawing 8 games, drawing a hell of a lot of games. And looking at the injuries, obviously for Leeds United, Amprove over Bamford, I don't know if he'd be in the squad. I think he might be. This game might be too soon for him. Millwall have a lot of injuries. Liam Roberts, goalkeeper, injured, suspended after that horror tackle against Crystal Palace. Callum Scanlon injured. Camille Negler injured. McNamara, Langstaff, Leonard, and Zach Lovelace injured. Watmore, I think Watmore may be injured as well. I can't find much on him, or he might be back for the game on Wednesday. I'm not sure. Looking at, we can say the head-to-heads. Okay, last 20 games, we go back a long way, don't we? Leeds winning 10, Millwall winning 9. We've only drawn once in them 20 games, so it could go either way. Looking at that, couldn't it? But the FA Cup game for me, it were different. We didn't have I think we had like 3 first teamers playing. The rest were second string. Some youngsters in there. Millwall did actually turn up with a decent, strong team, and they got the win. They got the 2-0 win at Ellen Road. I'm not even going to take that into account because of the team that we fielded that day. So it's going to be a much different game to the FA Cup game. Tactically, interesting. I saw a piece that Alex McNeil did, which I'll show you now, so we can get a bit of insight tactically how they're gonna play. It's what I thought as well. But I'll read this to you. This is from Alex Neil. I think going away from home, I think teams come out and the onus is on them to beat us, and I think that helps us. Neil said after Saturday's win against Watford, I think when Millwall has been relied on to go and break a team down, it's never really been a strength. I think going away from home in that sense probably helps us because I think they come out, they think they should be dominant, and it leaves spaces for us to exploit. We're good in transition, we're good on the counter, we've got pace in certain areas, and more importantly, I think we're aggressive in those spaces as well to turn the ball over. Interesting. Yes, okay. that is the case. If you looked at the game against Watford, the stats say they only had 40% possession. They don't do a lot with it, really, when they do have the possession. They knock it about a bit. They made 142 passes in their own half. But they do allow the other team to have possession. Again, they want to catch that team, especially away from them, on the counter-attack. We're going to have a lot of possession. So they're going to sit back. Likes of Taganga, Cooper. We know they're strong defensively. They're going to win the duels. All day long, they're going to win the duels. Pirro's not going to be winning much up there. So I think it's going to have to come from the wide areas for us. They have, they do have decent players up there, up top for that transition, for a quick turnover in Coburn, Imaku and Kundal. Honeyman is having a good season for them as well. But we all know him. But we could possibly see them sitting back, winning the ball, and then it's going to be probably diagonal balls over the top into some spaces. Maybe a bit like Portsmouth, but I don't think they press as much. So we are going to have a lot of ball. It's now what we do with that ball that's going to make the difference. We're going to need movement. Try and get in behind if we can. Again, playing that ball up in the air is going to be no good against Millwall. So I don't want to see long balls like we did, which I don't think we will, because obviously, like I said, Meslier against Portsmouth had to kick long sometimes because of the press. It's not what Millwall do. With the players also they've got missing, I mean, they've still got a decent team out, but they've not... They've got Femi Aziz, who's coming back. I think he could start, to be honest. Femi Aziz could possibly start. It's a good welcome addition back for Millwall. I mean, if I look at the stats for, obviously Coburn now is spearheading the attack. He's got 4 goals so far this season. Imaku's a good player, but he's only got 2 assists. Kundal 1 goal. Honeyman stand out, 3 assists, 2 goals. Cooper, we know his aerial ability. It's going to be, again, minimising the corners that we give away. Cooper's got 3 goals this season. Taganga's got 2 goals this season. I'm assuming they're from set pieces. So we know where their threat lies. It is a lot of we capitalise on the set pieces, or to try and counter attack. Again, I can't go too much into Millwall. I just think they're a mediocre championship team. They can mix it up. They make it difficult for any team. But again, I can't compare the 2 games in the FA Cup game and this game. I just think we're going to have too much for them. I think I've said a 2-0 win to Leeds. And I'm going to stick with that. I am going to stick with that. We've got a point to prove. We're at home. Again, the players will be chomping at the bit to get a positive result. Yes, Sheffield United play tonight. Burnley play tonight. I think Sheffield United's got Bristol City. They should win that. Burnley, though, tough game against West Brom. That's never easy. I could possibly see that as a draw. But again, Burnley found the scoring boots, haven't they, and the shooting boots and the scoring for fun. But we could find ourselves in 3rd place come the end of tonight. It's up to us then to get back on it and get back as known as back in front tomorrow. Or results could go for us, which then should spur us on to push on and get another 3 points tomorrow. Same with Saturday's game against QPR. But we'll see on that. We'll see on that. But I am feeling a lot more positive, like I said. Other news. So we've got some exciting news coming out. Well, is it? Kalvin Phillips. I've just seen it. Little report on Kalvin Phillips, and I'll just read it out to you. I don't know what you think about this. I think the fan base will be split on whether we take him back or not. I'll just read this. Leeds United agreed Kalvin Phillips deal with Manchester City. An emerging report from Team Talk has revealed the shock news that a verbal agreement has been reached between Phillips and Leeds to return, with the Whites having been working on a deal for the best part of a year now. Per the report, and having come close to signing the England international last summer, the same report from Team Talk states that any deal for Phillips to move back to Elland Road 3 years after his 45 million move to Etihad will likely be subject to Leeds once again securing promotion, as well as Leeds and Man City agreeing a fee. Pep Guardiola is ready to let Phillips leave after a tough spell in Manchester, and it's just that 20 million would be enough for the 49ers to bring Phillips back to Leeds United. Interesting. I have said in the past I wouldn't be bothered if he came back. I'd like us to actually move on to somebody else. But then part of me thinks, well, he's experienced midfielder now, Premier League midfielder. He's obviously Leeds through and through. He hasn't played well since he left Leeds United. Could that reignite him again? I'm not too sure. It'd be a good option, I suppose. It strengthens the midfield areas. Could we see a midfield of Tanaka and Phillips next season? Phillips and Ampadu? Tanaka, Phillips and Ampadu? Yes, if the reports are right and they've been working on this, do it. 20 million. That's not bad to say we sold him for 45. Yeah, I'd take him back, I think. I don't know what you guys think, and please leave a comment and let me know what you think. Should we take Phillips back? It would really be interesting. Again, it must have. I'm seeing a lot of reports on this, so it must have some credibility. It'd be one to watch. But again, everything hinges on us getting promoted, and I touched on it in my Portsmouth review. It's massive that we get promoted this season. Look at the big things we could have financially, stadium, Kalvin Phillips returning. Some fans are going to be buzzing at that if that happens. It's exciting. Look at Everton's stadium. It looks amazing, doesn't it? I want that. I want a bit of that. I'm not sure about the plans for the Man United stadium. It looks a bit like a circus, but it is at the minute. It's a bit of a circus down there. But that would excite me. Just looking at the Everton stadium. If you haven't seen it, go look at it. Go watch it. It looks fantastic. That could be us, in a similar sort of sense. So exciting times ahead, but we've got these last 10 games and we've got to get it over the line. If not, another season in the Championship, it ain't going to be good. Questions are going to be asked on Farker. Are some players going to leave? Yeah. Just take it one game at a time. I'm trying to not get ahead of myself, but as long as we finish second, some fans will be happy if we win the playoffs. We don't want playoffs. We really don't want playoffs. We all know this. I'll be happy to take second all day long. So we need to keep plugging away. Like Daniel Farker said in the press conference, which again I touched on, as long as we win our home games, we should be all right. I'm not so sure, because obviously we're not going to lose all those away games. We're going to pick points up away from home, looking at the fixtures. But yeah, it starts Wednesday, tomorrow, with Millwall. Let's go, Leeds. Cheers.